Hello friends, welcome to our new session on control engineering for 7th semester mechanical engineering students. So in the previous session we had started with our introduction of models of mechanical system. In this one we are going to study about equivalent mechanical system. So, while drawing analogous network, it is better to understand how to draw an equivalent mechanical system for the given mechanical system. Hence, to draw such a system, we follow certain steps. Let's go through the steps of drawing an equivalent mechanical system, which helps in doing our analysis. Step 1. For the applied force, identify the displacement in the mechanical system. From where you are getting this force and how many displacements are occurring in the system, that need to be taken into care. Step 2. Identifying the elements which are under the influence of different displacements. If there are spring, mass and damper as elements, we have to identify under these elements which are the displacement which are going to be in contact. Then represent each displacement by a separate node using nodal analysis. In process, if we find different types of nodes or different types of displacements like x1 and x2, we have to make a note of these displacements as individual nodes, as node 1 and node 2. Show all the elements in parallel under the respective nodes which are under the influence of respective displacement. Means if there is the x1 displacement, under these x1 displacement we are having elements like M1, K1 and B1 as the elements connected, then we have to represent them in parallel, which is under the influence of these displacements. Similarly, elements causing change in displacement will get connected in parallel in between the respective nodes. If there is a net change in displacement, then they will be connected in parallel in between the respective nodes. So these are the 5 steps which have to be remembered while doing while drawing the equivalent mechanical system or a network of a mechanical system. So we'll go through these steps and understand how we are able to get the overall transfer function of a given system using this technique, taking an example. Let's solve a problem on a mechanical translation. Here we are having a typical problem which states as obtain the transfer function x of s by f of s for the given system. Here we can see the system. We are having 3 elements which is having mainly the translation motion, mass, damper and spring. This one is a reference, and the mass is applied with the force F of t, and displacement is of this mass is in the same direction of F of t, and we can find the element damper between the mass and the reference and spring element between mass and the reference. Firstly, we need to draw the equivalent mechanical system. So while drawing the equivalent mechanical system, we have to keep it in mind the nodal method. The representation by nodal method is the easiest method to arrive at a mathematical model. So the number of nodes will be equal to the number of displacement. Here the number of displacement is 1, as it is seen here. We are having one displacement, that is x of t. Hence the number of nodes here will be equal to 1, and that will be for the mass 1, taking one reference. In addition, we are going to do this one. Mechanical system can be shown by nodal method. This nodal method is easy method to arrive at mathematical model. The total number of nodes will be equal to the total number of displacement. Here we are having one displacement, that is x of t. Hence we will be having one node. That node will be x node. Let's see how will be the equivalent mechanical system. This is the equivalent mechanical system. How to draw this one? Here we are having one node. That node we are going to represent it as x of t. The mass has a displacement. The mass is having displacement. So connect the node x and a reference. Here at the bottom we are having the reference. We need to connect mass m in between x, that is node, and reference. Then we are having the damper B in between the mass and reference. Mass is connected with the displacement. So accordingly we will connect the displacement with the damper. In between the node and the reference we are having the damper B. Similarly, between mass and the reference we are having the spring, which is connected in between the displacement. So next we are having the spring. This is connected between the node and the reference. So this is K. The force F is applied to the mass. So hence the force is applied to the mass, and that is to the displacement. So we are going to represent here the source of input, that is F, from the reference to the node X. So this is how we draw the node. This is the input. And here we are having the output from the node. This is called as a reference also, or we called as a ground also. So energy flows into this node, and from this node energy is getting dissipated. So at the node junction the sum of energy will be equal to 0. We call it as input force is equal to output force. So input force will be F and output force will be the mass, damper and spring force. Second step, writing the equilibrium equation. As we have already told, at node x of t, that is at this node, we have the input force F, the input force this is the input force x of t equal to output forces, that is m d square x by dt square plus b dx by dt plus k into x of t. Hence, this is called as a force equation. Applying Laplace transform or LPT on the both sides of the above equation, we are supposed to get the above equation. But before that, we need to know some terminologies, that is Laplace transform of f of t is equal to f of s, Laplace transform of x of t is equal to capital X of s, and Laplace transform of dx by dt is equal to s into x of s. Using this relationship or transformations, we are getting Laplace transform of f of t equal to capital F of s, Laplace transform of m d square x by dt square is s square into x of s, and Laplace transform of b into dx by dt equal to b into s into x of s, plus Laplace transform of k into x of t equal to k into x of s. Next, we are going to take x of s, x of s, x of s common here. We get this algebraic equation, that is m into s square plus b into s plus k. The need here is to find out the overall transfer function in the ratio of x of s by f of s. On the left hand side, we are having here f of s. On the right hand side, we are having x of s. When we write the overall transfer function in a ratio of output Laplace transform form by input Laplace transform form, that is x of s, that is output by input, we get the equation as 1 divided by m s square plus bs plus k. This is called as a force equation in the Laplace form. Okay, let's begin a problem on a mechanical translation system. The second problem: obtain a transfer function x2 of s by f of s by writing the differential equation governing the behavior of a mechanical system shown in the figure. This is the mechanical system. Here we are having the applied force f of t for mass 1 and displacement x1 of t for mass 1, and we are having another mass 2 and a displacement x2 of t. This is the reference. Between the reference and mass 1, we are having a damper B1, and between reference and mass 1, we are having spring mass 2 and damper 2, and between displacement x2 and x1, we are having a damper B2. Based on this figure, we have to do the network diagram. Step 1, draw the equivalent mechanical system. The equivalent mechanical system will be as drawn here as follows. Let's see how it can be drawn. First, we have to identify the node 1, x1. So this is the node 1. Here we are going to have the node 1, and we are going to have the another displacement as x2, the node 2, and we'll write this one as x1 and this one as x2, and between these x1 and x2 we are going to draw the reference. This is the reference. Here between the reference and the mass we are having between the displacement and the reference we are having the mass 1. So first we will draw the mass 1. Like this. This is mass 1. And between displacement and reference we are having another element, that is the damper. It is damper B1, and these are connected to the reference, that is ground. And between displacement 1 and displacement 2 we are having a common element, that is damper B2, so it will be coming here. So this is damper B2. And between displacement 2 and reference we are having two elements. The first one is the mass element M2. This is mass element 2. And the next element between reference and the displacement 2 is the spring element K. This is K. And input to the node x1, that is displacement 1, is having the force F. So this will be F force. This will be to node x1 and it is going from the reference. So here we will be having the input, okay, and we will be having the output here, that is through M1, and the another output here will be through M2, and one more output here will be through x1 to x2. This is for the supplied force in, and this will be supplied force output. And at x2 we don't have any supplied force in, we will be having output. So this will be output here, this will be output here, and there will be another output from this side to from x2 to x1 side. Keep it in mind. So from x2 the node will be moving towards x1 for the input. So this is how we are going to draw the equivalent mechanical system. Based on this equivalent mechanical system, we write the equilibrium equation. At node x1 of t, we are having the input force, that is F of t. This is the input force F of t, which is at node x1, and output is equal to m1 into d square x1 of t by dt square plus b1 dx1 divided by dt plus b2 into the net change in velocity, that is net change in velocity from x1 to x2. It is written as dx1 by dt minus dx2 divided by dt. This is how we write the equilibrium equation for x1 of t. So while writing for x1 of t, we only consider the first half part, this half part. We don't consider the other half part. From here whatever is going out, that we are going to consider. Next, for writing the equilibrium equation on the second node, that is on this node. So here the net energy or net force output will be equal to 0. Hence here it will be 0. The output from here, from this x2 node, will be first one, here it will be m2 into the displacement 2, that is d square x2 divided by dt square, and from here there will be output on this side, that is b2 into dx2. Remember, dx2 by dt minus dx1 by dt. From here the energy will be dissipated. Next, from here whatever is coming out, that is here it will be k into x2 of t. All will be getting grounded. So k into x2 of t. This is another equation for x2 of t. Here we are going to monitor only on the x2 part for the equilibrium equation. Next step is applying the Laplace transform on both sides. For the above equations, we get the first equation will be f of s equal to m1 s square x1 of s plus b1 s into x1 of s plus b2 s into x1 of s minus b2 into s2 into x2 of s. Similarly, on the second equation we are going to get 0 will be same, m2 s square x2 of s plus b2 into s into x2 of s minus b2 into s into x1 of s plus k into x2 of s. This we know how to write it. In the previous problem we have done it. Now here what we are supposed to do is, we wanted to bring here the transfer function. So to bring it into a transfer function, we rearrange the equation. What we do here? So this one minus b2 of s x1 of s, we are going to take it on the other side, that is on the left hand side. What we get is m2 s square x2 of s plus b2 s into x2 of s plus k into x2 of s. Here x1 of s we are going to keep it here only. We bring back b2 into s in this form, and from here we are going to take x2 of s, x2 of s and x2 of s common. So what we get it, x1 of s equal to x2 of s by b2 of s bracket m2 s square plus b2s plus k. Next, from the third equation, that is from this equation, we are rearranging. We are bringing x1 of s outside. So here x1 of s, x1 of s, x1 of s is there. We are bringing it outside. So it will be f of s equal to x1 of s bracket m1 s square plus b1s plus b2s minus x2 of s into b2 of s. It is writing it in a algebraic form. Now we are supposed to substitute x1 of s here. So when we substitute x1 of s in this equation, what we get? We get f of s equal to the same thing will remain, x2 of s this one. So it is x2 of s by b2 of s bracket m2 s square plus b2s plus k, and this will remain same. So it will be m1 s square plus b1s plus b2s minus x2 of s into b2 of s. Now we take the LCM of this whole equation. So this b2 of s is going to multiply here. It will be b2 square into s square, and x2 of s will be taken outside and written in the form of a transfer function, that is output transfer function x2 of s by f2 of s. So transfer function equal to x2 of s by f of s, that is equal to, here this b2 will be going on the other side here. So what it will be, in the numerator we have b2 of s by this will be same m2 s square plus b2s plus k bracket m1 s square plus b1s plus b2s, and here what we will be getting, x2 is common, so we will be remaining with b2 square into s square. This is the transfer function for the given problem. Now next we are going to study modeling of electrical system. In the modeling of electrical systems, we are having the three basic elements in electrical systems. Those are resistor, inductor and capacitors. Resistor is represented by R, inductor is represented by L and capacitor by C. These elements are quite analogous to our mechanical elements like spring, mass and damper. So they will be having the physical elements like we have in our mechanical elements. Firstly, we will go with the first element, that is resistance. Resistor or a resistance. Here we consider a resistance carrying current as shown. The voltage drop across it can be written as V is equal to IR from the Ohm's law. Hence, we can write the current as I is equal to V by R. Here in the diagram we can see between the two nodes we are going to have the resistance. The current flows from one node to the another node. So this is positive and this is negative. The voltage will be dropping. There is a potential drop from higher potential to the low potential. So it is plus and this is minus. So we can write it as V is equal to IR or I is equal to V by R. So current flowing through the resistance is equal to the ratio of voltage across the resistance by the resistance of the materials. I is equal to V by I. Okay, suppose it carries a current, that is net current I1 minus I2. Then for the polarity of the voltage drop, the equation is shown as below, that is V is equal to the difference in current, that is I1 minus I2 into R. So net current flowing through this resistance will be I1 minus of I2. Similarly, for inductor, consider an inductor carrying current I as shown. Then the voltage drop across it can be written as V is equal to L into di by dt. So here, to remove the proportionality, we bring a constant, that is L. So that constant is the inductor constant, or it depends on the material. So inductor will be getting in case of a coil, so where we are going to have the magnetic property or a magnetic field. So we can write this one as V into dt is equal to L into di. Integrating on both sides, we get as integrating V into dt equal to integrating L into di. That will be I equal to 1 divided by L integrating between 0 to t V into dt. If it carries a current, that is difference in current I1 minus I2, then for polarity we can show the voltage equation as below, that is V into dt equal to L into di1 minus di2. Next, if we integrate it on both sides like what we did it in the above, so it will be given as I1 minus I2 will be equal to 1 divided by L integrating between 0 to t V into dt. Next, we are going to understand about the capacitor element. Considering a capacitor carrying current as shown, then the voltage drop across it can be written as V is equal to 1 by C integrating I into dt. So we can write it as C into V. This C is getting multiplied here. C into V is equal to integrating I into dt. Differentiating on both sides, we get C into dV by dt equal to I. So the current flowing through this one is directly proportional to derivative of voltage. And to remove the proportionality, we bring a constant, the capacitive constant or the capacitor C. So hence it is written as I is equal to C into dV by dt. If it carries a current I1 minus I2, then for the polarity we can write the equation, voltage equation as V is equal to 1 by C integrating I1 minus I2 into dt, and current, net current flowing through the capacitor can be written as I1 minus I2 is equal to C into dV by dt. So all these three elements are going to be having two types of sources. One is the current source and one is the voltage source. We are having the equations both on the voltage side also, voltage is equal to, and we are having on the current side also. So some elements are current driven and some elements are voltage driven. The source of a drive may be sometimes current and sometimes voltage. Hence we are supposed to know the relationship of both voltage and current, and sometimes we need to know the relationship between current and voltage. Let's summarize what we have studied till now. We have studied about the modeling of physical systems mathematically, that is modeling of mechanical and electrical system. Next we'll study about thermal, hydraulic and pneumatic system. Thank you.